Alright, welcome to Hearthstone. Today we're going to be doing some deck building and getting things started off. Now, one of the decks that I've seen a lot of in ladder in the 15 rank is the priest deck, actually, and it's the exploding priest deck, specifically the inner fire divine spirit combination with things like Cabal Talon Priest, uh, things to that like. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to build a deck that will be able to offset and beat that style play uh, pretty solid. And what we're going to actually try to do is we're going to try to remake a good Quest Warrior deck. So I've got something already here, and what we've got is obviously you have the Quest, a couple of things to apply some damage, ties in with Armorsmith really well. It ties in with Execute really well. Acolyte of Pain, Blood Warriors. This is an amazing card. If you have the opportunity to pick up this card and you do enjoy playing Warrior, I highly recommend Blood Warriors. There's just not a lot of things like being able to drop a Whirlwind and then throw one of those. You've got 4 mana and you just picked up every creature you have out on the field. So if you're playing Quest Warrior specifically, where you need the taunt creatures early on as quickly as possible, this is a great way of doubling up those early taunt minions that you have. So that's just something to consider. Further on, you have cards like Battle Rage, which once again works amazing with Whirlwind. Makes it actually, all of these work really well in conjunction with taunt creatures in specific. Anything that they have to go towards the minions, they can't go face. So that's something to take into consideration. One thing that I see a lot of play with Warrior is the weapons. They have amazing value, especially in things like the pirate deck, right, where everything gives bonuses to them. I mean, that's a huge bonus. That's great. But in decks like this, it almost works against you, in my opinion, or at least in my experience, because it's great. You have a 3 attack for 2 mana. Right off the bat, you got something out there. You can use it to remove creatures. The 3 damage is really gonna make any major differences when it comes to hit points and whatnot. I mean, aside from the last 3 hit points, but what we're shooting for is trying to get the maximum value out of each card. And so, in my opinion, this is just not cutting it. So we're going to go ahead and remove that one. Alright, now, I'm a huge fan of Stubborn Gastropod. 1/2 for 2, it's got the taunt with this. That's a great combination. You can always throw it into to some of their larger creatures. That poisonous is fantastic, especially in this meta. So that's something to keep in mind. Acolyte of Pain has actually just become a regular staple in most of my decks. Properly used, you can get between 2 and 3 cards out of this guy, and if you're playing a deck that has any kind of bonuses as far as hit points are concerned, or anything that's going to give you heals, Priest is a amazing combination with this guy. You can really get some serious value out of him. So that's something to consider. Ravaging Ghoul, basically same thing as Whirlwind. A little bit of board clear and a lot of combination value with him. Shield block. One moment. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so shield block is right there on the border for me. The 5 armor is great. The draw card is awesome. 3 casting costs is a little high for what I'm really looking for out of this card, which is actually the draw. So we might go ahead and remove that. Alright. Stonehill Defender, as I've talked about in previous videos, I think this is one of the coolest cards in the new set. Um, Being able to throw down a 1/4 for 3 that has taunt, and then being able to like pull another card, giving you that uh, extra power, and for it to be a discover on top of that, not even just a random minion. Fantastic. It's just an outstanding card. It's personally, I think it being rare is flawed. It should be a higher value card, in my opinion. Bloodhoof Brave. I love this guy, especially for a common card. 2/6, right? The Enrage is great. The taunt with this is so much value, especially when you have cards like Whirlwind, which is going to activate his Enrage. So you make with one Whirlwind. So for 5 mana, you effectively get to throw him out there, and he's a 5/5 with taunt. That's just nasty. And if if you wait, obviously, until you have the opportunity to attack with him, it just amplifies the value out of him. Ali Armorsmith. This guy's fantastic. 2/7. Every time he does damage, you gain armor based on how much damage he does. There's no more necessary to say about that. That's fantastic. You tie that in with Armorsmith, and just watch your armor value just scream for positive. Brawl has always been a staple for Warrior. It's their most amazing board clear. Provides some really fun RNG moments. Um, I'm, I'm a big fan. And then we have the Henri Direhorn. Another one of those borderline cards for me. I love the adapt. I love the fact that he's a 5/5. I'm a little bummed that he costs so much. In fact, as you can see, he's the highest casting cost that I have in this deck because I really don't want it to get to this point. Like, the goal of the deck is to be around these turns when you already have Sulfuras in hand, if not in play. By turn 5, ideally you want to be able to throw that out. So that means you're looking to complete it by turn 4. And I mean, that's obviously that has some difficulty, but if you can pull it off, it is outstanding. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to increase the likelihood of that happening. And if you look here, what we have is the breakdown of the cost for each of the cards, and mine starts off with 0 0 cost, 3 1, 8 2, 7 3, 4 2 4, 4 5, 2 6. And so you can see where I'm going with the attempt to get that Sulfuras out as quickly as possible. The idea is to make sure that you have that maximum advantage. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to look at some one-cost cards and see what we can do about getting some additional minions. Like, for instance, right here, we have Discover a Taunt minion. Now, it's not a card that I would typically choose for this kind of deck because with your Fireplume's Heart, you've already gotten your first turn. Right? So you don't really need that extra one-cost kind of card. So you want to kind of leave it to these. So we might actually skip the 1 point and move on. But let's see what our options are. Molten Blade is great, but ultimately it isn't what it is. So it's a 1-cost 1/1, but if you're looking for that Arcanite Reaper, why not just use the Arcanite Reaper? The randomness of it kind of takes away from my personal interest in this particular item. Let's see here. Ultimately, I'm really looking for early taunt minions that might have something else added with them. I can't really think of any that are in the one bracket that aren't being used already, but we'll see. In fact, let's just do it like this. Alright, so here we go. This is a good card right here. Not necessarily for this deck, but I do love the card in general. I put it in a lot of my decks. It's in my Jade deck. It's in a couple of the other decks. I don't think I have it in my Priest, which I might need to remedy. Alright, see, and I'm not really interested in any of the others. This would be cool if it had like an enrage and maybe cost a little more. 0-7 on warrior side. He's just a wall. He's like, that's literally all it is. And I don't know. I never really used those in any of the CCGs I do. It's got to be able to apply damage, or at least do something cool. Alright, so that's a negative. 2-6 is great. Being able to throw that down on the second turn is fantastic. But I'm not trying to give my opponent a bunch of minions. That can backfire too frequently with things like playing Hunter or playing Priest, where they can throw out those buffs. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that. And move on to 3. And if you look back again, we're doing pretty good on these at the moment. Like, truth be told, 8s and 8 2s and 7 3s. So here's a good option. You can go like this, because that'll once again, it'll tie in well with the whirlwind, the ravaging ghoul. So that's handy. You know what? I wonder. What's that say? That says play 7. And that says summon. Let's do a little bit of a test on that. I'm kind of curious, because if Protect the King ends up doing this, working for the quest, that is a great counter for like Murlocs and such, which I'm probably not going to come across actually in ladder, but let's see what happens. Alright, so we're looking at our quest warrior, and we're going to go ahead and give it a go. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're also using a new add-on, and it should display all the different cards that we're going to be using in our deck, and the cards that our opponent has played so far. I've seen a lot of the other streamers use this, and personally, I've never really tried anything like this, except in games like World of Warcraft, where it's going to, allow you greater access, stuff that, basically I think of this as kind of one of those things that gives you an unnecessary edge. But we're going to check it out and see how much of a difference it really makes, and if I find that it's too much, then I might just go ahead and get rid of it. My memory's not quite what it used to be, so something like this could be really handy. We're going to go ahead and get... Well, you know what, with that combination, we're good. We're taking a chance here, people. Now, the reason I say we're taking a chance is because we have no minions in our hand. But, if we do draw any minions, we're going to have the ability to refresh our hand with this and this. So, by turn 3, we can get everything we need. Alright, so that's going to be really handy. We're just going to go ahead and continue. Alright. Oh, right on. See, now, that is just a stupid amount of value for this guy. And I want to point out something that I did, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to end up showing the video for that one, because I'm just so damned ashamed of myself for doing it. I got myself in a game with Priest in ladder, and I was in such a hurry that when I set this guy down, I had, instead of waiting for my options, I was doing the occasional click thing that I do, and chose the absolute wrong one. It was the worst possible choice. So don't do that. just don't do that. Don't hurt yourself in that way. It's not worth it. And this is all kinds of bad. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that, so he doesn't have the option to mess around too much more. Then, if we throw this guy down, this is going to end up probably by this game. In fact, that did. That's going to be cleared. Okay, we'll see what happens. If they don't, okay, yeah, that's what I expected. Alright, so remember when I was talking about with that value? We're looking for the more than the 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to that, right? So very clearly we are losing that game right now. Try to turn that around a little bit with some more taunt minions and see what happens. Possibly next turn we will be able to try to protect the king and see what happens with that. I'm kind of curious.
We have many secrets.
It'll probably draw the flame wave or whatever the... Yeah, this is so bad. We are doing so bad. That's not going to be any fun. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Oh, once again, so bad. See? All the bad. Try to pay attention to what your opponent has thrown out and shown you that they have. Like I didn't right there. That'll probably go a long way to improving your game overall. So apparently I'm really caught up with all the shiny pretty pictures because my game is off today. But we'll see if we can fix that. Alright, so I really like a creature that I could use to improve my chances with Brawl, but it doesn't look like I have the option right now because it's pretty much an over gig at the moment, unless I figure something out. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to draw the counterspell out with the flame. Alright, so that didn't work. Okay, so now we're going to pray. And we are going to pray. Sweet, that it worked out that way. Okay. Are we still going to lose this game? Most likely, but we're going to make them earn it. That's the plan. Maybe even do some damage if we can build up some momentum. Probably not, but we'll try. Okay. So 6/9 is going to pull 2 of his creatures, unless that card right there is that mirror entity. Okay, so that's unfortunate. That's kind of a bummer. Now we can use this because this actually I am technically a damaged character. Pretty sure there's a psychology joke in there somewhere. He's pretty much got us this turn. 6, 4. That gives him 6 points, 7 points, and 6 mana left over. So if he's got a fireball in his hand, he's got lethal. I think he can probably even pull it off. No, he needs a fireball or better.
Can I light your fire?
Okay, so that mage should be ashamed of himself. He should have killed me this turn. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna see what we can pull off. I need the card at the moment.
Job's done.
How did I not draw a card? That is the stupidest. Was that a glitch or am I dumb? I'm willing to accept either option as legit. Flame Strike, there's that card we were boned and hoping not to find earlier. Well played. I feel ashamed. So we're gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that Henri Dire Horn. And we still didn't get to see what happens with Protect the King. But I'm gonna get rid of that Henri Dire Horn and I'm going to replace it with something that seems a little stupid, but bear with me. I'm sure some of you will figure where my mind state is on that. For those that don't, It's not what I'm looking for ideally, and it's smaller than just about anything else I could have picked up. But it's going to give me that speed advantage, that one more card closer to pitting Sulphurus in my hand. The moment that you get that card out, and this is the advantage that Warrior Quest has over Rogue Quest. Rogue Quest can be countered. It's done. That's all it takes. It's all you have to do to beat Rogue Quest. So if you play Mage, you win. Obviously, there are ways to go around it. You know, if they throw their prep first, or if they try to Shadow Step first. But all of those spells that they have are designed to make sure that that quest gets done. So unless they're going to be throwing something out that actually has some real cost to it. In fact, we're going to keep this hand. That's a fantastic curve. So unless it's later in the game, they're really not going to be able to pull off both of them at the same time, right? You know, they throw down their prep, you just countered it. There's another one, I'll look it up here in a little bit. Let's not punish our opponent here. There's another one that it gives you a duplicate of the spell and makes the cost 0. And so that is another fun one to use against Mage or against Rogue, because if it does pull off, if you get the prep, hey, you're a Mage and you just got prep. That's amazing, right? Let's Pyroblast for 7, right? If you manage to dodge the prep and actually hit the quest, now all of your minions are going to be. Wow, that's kind of cool. Alright, so now all of your minions are going to have that.
Strike!
That 5/5. So with Mage, I mean, being able to, like, for instance, an Elemental Mage would be fantastic against Rogue if they did it properly. And then once again, I mean, there's workarounds that Rogue would be able to pull off, and you're really only delaying the inevitable if you do play a counter spell and they are looking for it. So, I mean, you kind of have to take those things into consideration and roll with that. But that's how you play the game. That's what it's about.
I have an axe.
Strike!
So, I think I might have made a mistake right there, because I really wanted that ghoul to be at least 2 hit points for me to be able to pull this next thing off. But I guess if he doesn't attack my guy, well, he's gonna make me bigger. Well then, all right. So we've got 5. We can go this one.
Speak to me.
This one. This one. Oh, I should have attacked first. That was kind of dumb. Because that is inevitably going to go to those 2. Oh, wow, that's sweet. Okay, so see, once again, like I was telling you about that guy right there, if you can get 1 or 2, or if you get 2 or 3 cards out of him, that is just fantastic. 1 card, I mean, you got a 1/3 draw card. That's not that big of a bonus. But 1/3 draw 2 cards or draw 3 cards, now you're talking. And in a deck like Warrior, you really have the opportunity to make that kind of a thing. Well, now. I think
What now?
we're going to go like this. We're going to go...
Start running.
That goes into that. We're going to go... Yeah, sure.
Strike.
Okay, so my thinking here is basically I've got a decent amount of armor already kind of dialed in. We're still got another card that'll give me armor in my hand, and we're still looking at another armor smith in the deck, as you can see from up here. So that's kind of cool. I do like that. Draw a card, changes cost to 5. That's such a weird card. Unless you're, I guess, yeah, with that makes sense. Okay. So we are looking at 7. I kind of want to save him for whatever he's about to throw
What
down,
now?
but I guess I have Brawl in my hand. So let's go ahead and throw down this guy, throw that into his face, and grab some armor. And looking at his deck, I have absolutely no idea what he's got going on. It kind of looks just like a... Well, I don't know. There's a nice curve to that, it looks like. Hmm. I suppose if it wasn't like an absolute jerk thing to do, you could draw a game out and actually see what a person's deck is with something like this. It's kind of cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do some trading here, because that's obviously worth it. That's going to give me the armor one way or the other. He's going to get bigger, and we're going to try to build that up. And once again, I'm really surprised that we haven't gotten our footman yet, because I mean that was kind of the whole point of putting him in the deck. So we'll see what happens.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
That's cool. See, now I would say it's like a value druid, except you gotta kind of have some murlocs for that to be useful, don't you? Okay, here we go. We actually get the opportunity to see whether this is gonna work. No, it does not. That is a bummer. Alright, so that's gotta go away. Face. Get some more armor. Alright. So that execute in our hand is gonna be really handy right now. Here we go. Alright, so we've got 5 out of 7. Let's see what happens.
Out of my jungle.
There's 2. So we throw that down.
What you want?
Here we go. That's gonna go there. We execute. Throw down Sulfurus. He goes there. That goes to face. And we have Brawl in reserve. I want to go on record and say it was definitely not the quest that gave us that game. Fantastic! So this will probably delay it a little longer. Well, I don't think I can kill him this turn. So let's find out what happens when we do this. Alright. Let's That's a good start, I suppose.
Time
And we're
for
gonna go ahead and go face Brawl. That's most unfortunate.
Ready for action.
Alright. So we're in kind of a spot because he can heal the same amount of damage that we can do every turn. That's, well, maybe if he attacks and actually takes the 1 point of damage, then there's a small possibility Rag will heal himself. And he's not going to take that chance. Alright. Oh, he is. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see, what card are we really looking for here? Another Brawl would be handy, I suppose. This one, let's see you. So he's got 11, I've got 12. I could use a Stonehill Defender. One of those or one of those would probably be fantastic. Because he's definitely got to do this. That has to be a thing. He can't give me the opportunity. That would be dumb. Now I have to get Brawl. Alright. So, Whirlwind. Okay, well at least I can be antagonistic here. So that goes like that. What we're really trying to do is draw his heal. Alright, and we're relying on the fact that I currently have effectively 40 hit points to survive that. Just do a little advertising. If he's gonna spectate, you might as well talk. Alright, so, how's that for unfortunate? 12 Tarantus. What's he rolling with here? Poisonous?
Join the pack.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So we have a 1 in 10 chance. We have a 10% chance of drawing the card that will save our butts. Shy of that, we are in the absolute worst case scenario. And every one of his creatures is going to be able to absorb the blow from Sulphurus. So I'm not sure what we can do at this point. That is not going to help us.
En passant.
See, that's really not going to help us.
Well played.
We got him down fairly low, and he completely flipped that. That makes a guy want to send an invite to be a friend. That was a well-played game. I'm just gonna sit back and take the spanking. I think it's important to do that every once in a while. Like, don't give up before the game's over. people trying to finish quests and such. And I mean, if they're sitting there and they're going to take 6 years for the return, sure, of course, go ahead and concede. That's fine. But if they're making an active effort to get things done, go ahead and take the 30 seconds, man. Give them the chance, right? Let them get whatever it is that they have going on. Maybe they have some cool combo that you've never seen. And you get the opportunity to see it because they want to show it off, and you happen to be the dude that was playing against them. So take that extra moment, enjoy the victory and the defeat. Because if somebody beats you and you're a decent player, there's a really good chance that they beat you with something cool. It wasn't just pounding you with some trivial nonsense, right? So even the burst quick decks are gonna have some cool like little nifty tricks that are gonna be learnable, be fun to watch. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a second gander. I think this is an amazing card too, by the way. Not super useful in this deck as a lot of the minions are going to be lower health. Um, Yeah, let's go ahead and take this guy out, and we're going to go ahead and replace him with Frothing Berserker. I see a lot of those when I'm going against Warrior. There's a reason for it. They're amazing. So, check those out. That could have been the difference between victory and defeat in the previous game. Now granted, I didn't draw the card that would have been in that spot, but let's assume I did. I had cards to be able to damage my minions and theirs. It's a lot of extra damage. He only needs to survive one turn to apply it. So, just good stuff. Hey, welcome to the channel.
Victory or death!
And goodbye. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, I like that. And that's not horrible either, especially working out with that over there.
Greetings. Well met.
Accidents. They happen, you know?
It's a really cool card. It never works out for me, but it is a really cool card.
Honor. Made to kill.
For the crusade!
It's kind of cool. So, we're in a spot here. I really want to kill that. I really, really do. But to do that, we need to kill her. I don't want to do that. So, we gotta. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Everything dies.
Accidents. They happen, you know?
My goodness.
Reporting for duty. I have an axe to grind.
We'll try to force a little healing. See what happens.
The light protects me.
Alright.
duty.
I can get behind that kind of play. So, really just using that for the getting closer to Sulphurous. Gonna need that. And if he has Bubble Deck, it's gonna be unfortunate. That's awesome. Alright. So, Brawl, is it? Yeah, it looks like a Brawl. It's probably not the best plan, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get rid of him. That'll work.
The light protects me.
Reporting for duty. I have an axe.
So I'm kind of hoping he's going to feed into this, because if he does, that's +6 to this guy. I'm making him an 8/4. That's nasty. Granted, he's capable of turning him back into a 1/4 for what, 2 mana? 1 mana?
Moon shall not fall.
Pretty gnarly.
Reporting for duty.
Alright. So, let's go like that. Do that.
I strike.
Full face. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. Oh, welcome to the chat. So, 1, 2, 4, 5. He's not gonna be able to break through that, but he can do that. That's fine. We still win by going like this. Yeah, that's gonna be big.
Take this.
You go to face. You get executed. And then there's 2 and 5. That goes nice. Alright, so worst case scenario, equality consecration. That is a day ruiner right here and now. I don't think he's capable of doing that. I think the shiny stuff on the cards up there shows that those are creatures because of his previous buffs.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
You pay, I protect.
There you go.
That was a mistake.
Don't be sad, it'll be okay. Yeah, I kind of want to go like this. And we're going to go like that.
Yes.
Nah.
My blade be thirsty.
Well, you know what, that was kind of out of order. Bad Kubi. This is why you never follow Kubi.
I strike.
Yeah. So he's probably gonna waste one of those guys. Might be able to get both of them. Oh no, you get both of them, yeah. You can get both of them without even losing a creature. Oof. Rough. Guy's amazing.
Shall not fall.
Reporting for duty.
Right. this will work.
Army made
Sharp gadgets.
We're just gonna get stupid amount of armor. Tick, tick. Alright. So he should be able to wipe me out right here. But with Sulfuras in hand, I don't feel quite so scared. Card's amazing. Didn't help me out last game. Well, prolonged the game anyway.
Put your faith in the light.
Ouch.
Reporting for duty.
Almost want to kind of hope for brawl. What are my chances? 2, 3. 1 in 13. Not super great. There's 3.
strike.
Yeah. This is just kind of a hopeful end, but oh well. That's gonna die.
Reporting for duty.
See, you gotta remove. That's not good. Alright, so that is almost definitely going to bring back his character, which is kind of a bummer. So what we're hoping to do is... Okay, that works. I'm down with that. Because if he had gotten this one, that'd have been just 6 kinds of bad day.
Thanks.
6/5 poisonous. He's gonna have to sacrifice that guy for it.
Reporting for duty. To Northrend. Reporting for duty.
There it is. Anything but Tyrion. Alright. That's my favorite answer.
Victory is all.
Well played. Alright. So, that kind of worked out. Ups and downs, mostly downs due to my bad play. Deck seemed to work out fairly well. So, shall we go for the punishment? I'm going to go ahead and let you decide. Do we want to go ahead and move into ranked and try our hand at pushing forward? Or do we want to fiddle around with the deck a little more? What would you prefer to see? Alright. So, let's go ahead and run with it. Probably going to suffer for it, but meh. Looks like we're bugged. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let that be the end of our show today. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Leave comments below. Talk to you later. Peace.